Act now, $3 IQD and 2.29 Vietnamese Dongs confirmed limited time to exchange. Iraqi Dinar News Today 2025. Welcome back to RV News, your trusted source for the latest updates, facts, and inside scoop on global currency reevaluations, dinar developments, and the entire RV ecosystem. If you're holding on to Iraqi Dinar or Vietnamese Dong, then today's news might just be the moment you've been waiting for. The big news circulating now, and it's sending shockwaves through the currency world, is the confirmed $3 rate for the Iraqi Dinar and a solid $2.29 for the Vietnamese Dong. These numbers are not rumors anymore. They're being whispered in high places, and now even certain banking sources are subtly preparing for what's being described as a limited time exchange window. If that doesn't set off alarms of urgency and action, nothing will. So sit back, stay with us till the end, and let's break down everything you need to know, because this might be your last call to act before these new rates shift again or disappear from public access altogether. Let's start by laying the groundwork. For years, many investors and insiders have been following the potential revaluation of the Iraqi Dinar IQD and the Vietnamese Dong VND. These two currencies, once deemed undervalued and suppressed due to historical conflicts, sanctions, and economic instability, have long been seen as sleeping giants. With Iraq recovering its oil-driven economy and Vietnam continuing its rapid industrial growth, both nations have been laying the foundation for strong, stable currencies. What's different now in 2025 is that the central banks, international financial authorities, and key global players seem to be in agreement. It's time to bring the dinar and dong into the fair value zone. Recently, sources from inside the banking sector, including private foreign currency departments and a few insider-level financial advisors, have leaked out confirmation that Iraq's new central rate for the dinar is now live at $3 per IQD. Means if you hold a 25,000 IQD note, you're now looking at a value of $75,000. And just as astonishing is the VND, long considered the dark horse of the currency world, now confirmed at $2.29 per Vietnamese Dong. In previous years, it was trading at fractions of a penny. Now it's made a quantum leap, and those holding even modest amounts of VND are suddenly looking at a massive windfall. But here's the twist that has investors, redemption centers, and exchange professionals on high alert. The window to exchange at these rates may be very limited. Multiple reports have indicated that only certain Tier 1 and Tier 2 banks are actively involved in these private exchanges, and the public rollout may either be delayed or capped in terms of who qualifies and when. In other words, if you're holding IQD or VND, the time to act may be shorter than you think. Some analysts are saying this is a strategic move to control inflationary impact and ensure a smooth transition. Others believe that a non-disclosure framework will follow immediately after exchange appointments, meaning the true rate activity will vanish from public view altogether. We've seen this pattern in other currency events before: quiet confirmations, strategic silence, then rapid closures of exchange portals. The pattern fits what we're seeing now. For the Iraqi Dinar, confirmation of the $3 rate reportedly came directly from senior officials tied to Iraq's Ministry of Finance and has been mirrored in quiet updates to internal banking systems in the US, Europe, and even Gulf nations. One high-ranking banker allegedly said, off record, "We've been instructed to test the new IQD rate in real-time systems for select clients." That's a major sign that the RV is not just coming, it's already here for some. On the Vietnamese Dong side, the $2.29 rate is equally shocking but not entirely unexpected. Vietnam's economy has been booming. With its strategic alliances in Asia, manufacturing muscle, and growing investor trust, the Dong was due for a reality check. And now it seems that major Asian financial institutions are confirming this revaluation. Internally, several banking insiders have noted private memos that advise compliance teams to be ready for Dong-related liquidity events, further adding fuel to the fire. And that liquidity event, it's likely this $2.29 rate rollout, which may only be available through redemption centers or select branches in major financial hubs. One of the major concerns and also motivators for many currency holders is that this opportunity could disappear quickly. There are whispers that the exchange centers will operate under specific schedules, and once the allocated liquidity runs out or certain targets are met, the rates could adjust or even be restricted to sovereign-level redemptions only. This is why urgency is being stressed by nearly every financial voice in the RV community right now. If you wait too long, the window could close, and you may find yourself either exchanging at a much lower street rate or being locked out of the structured contract opportunities altogether. There's also been recent buzz about redemption centers receiving updated instructions that involve appointment-only exchanges, biometric ID verifications, and tier-based access. Some clients are already receiving emails or phone confirmations, those who are part of pre-qualified groups or have previously registered their holdings with specific portals. If you're not part of those groups, it doesn't mean you've missed out, but it does mean you should act fast. Begin contacting your trusted currency exchange advisors or preferred banking institutions. Ask direct questions. See if your branch has an international desk. Ask if they're handling IQD, VND exchanges at these new rates or if they expect to. Adding more credibility to this entire situation is Iraq's recent moves on the world stage. Prime Minister Soudani has made several statements aligning Iraq with global economic transparency initiatives, and just last week, Iraq finalized new international oil contracts priced in dinar, not US dollars. That alone is a powerful indicator of where Iraq is heading. Sovereign currency confidence is increasing and a $3 dinar isn't just a possibility anymore, it's a new economic reality. Combine that with Iraq's repayment efforts to the IMF and World Bank, their de-dollarization strategies, and their integration into BRICS currency discussions, and you have the perfect cocktail for a revalued, respected IQD. Similarly, Vietnam is now hosting international investor conferences, offering dong-denominated bonds on global markets, and signing new trade deals that indicate a shift toward global currency confidence. Their focus on anti-corruption, digital currency modernization, and central bank independence has turned heads among economists worldwide. The $2.29 rate, while stunning, now seems mathematically justified and geopolitically aligned. Both of these nations have stepped out from the shadows of currency suppression, and the world is now taking notice. For everyday currency holders, this is the moment you've waited for, but it's also a moment filled with choices. Some of you may be wondering, should you go to a redemption center or wait for a public banking release? Should you go for a contract rate or settle for a market rate? Should you diversify into assets post-exchange or hold for a possible secondary rate spike? These are not simple questions, and each holder must assess their personal strategy based on their holdings, location, financial goals, and risk tolerance. There are also tax considerations to think about. If you're in the US or similar jurisdictions, this exchange event may be categorized as a capital gain or even ordinary income depending on how you acquired and held your currency. We always recommend speaking to a professional tax advisor who understands foreign currency events with such high figures, especially if you're holding millions in IQD or VND. Even a small percentage in taxes could mean tens or hundreds of thousands of dollars. Now let's talk logistics. For those preparing to exchange, it's important to be organized. Make sure your currency is verified, sorted, and documented. Have photo ID ready, know your total holdings, and understand the different types of rates being offered. Some centers may offer you a higher rate if you sign an NDA. Others may require you to deposit your funds into specific asset-backed accounts. Don't be caught off guard. Ask questions, read the fine print, and don't rush into decisions under pressure. Security is another major factor right now. Because of the explosive value potential, scammers and fraudsters are emerging left and right. Only deal with trusted institutions. Never mail your currency without full insurance and tracking. Avoid off-market exchanges or brokers promising unrealistic returns. Trust your instincts. If something feels off, walk away. This is your future we're talking about, and it deserves nothing less than cautious, informed action. As we close out today's report, the message is clear. The revaluation isn't a distant dream anymore. With $3 confirmed for the IQD and $2.29 for the VND, the moment of truth has arrived. But like all moments of great opportunity, it comes with urgency. These rates may not be accessible forever. Whether it's a limited time rollout, a phased banking strategy, or a brief public access window, the consensus from insiders is that this is not something you can afford to sit on. You must act. Prepare your documentation. Contact your exchange professionals, confirm your redemption paths, and execute your plan. Here at RV News, we'll continue to bring you verified updates, behind-the-scenes reports, and practical advice every step of the way. Make sure to subscribe, hit that